Hey everybody, I'm back for another review of Love During Lockup. I always start laughing before I even get into it because I know it's going to be some foolishness. But if you're watching this, thank you. And also, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so Love During Lockup, the morning after, Mourning, season 5, episode 28. All right, so we're gonna start with Rick and Samantha. This was some foolishness, okay? I'm kind of ready for their storyline to be over. Love During Lockup doesn't last as many episodes, and we didn't get no Tina and Rob. I think they played with us with Tina and Rob because they know we really want to see how this shit goes left, because it is inevitable that it will go left. Anyway, so Rick wrote her a song to make up for the fact that he can't visit and to prove he wants to get married. Okay, okay, hey, do what you can. Rick, honestly, you can do better. Even you, with your kind of background, that kind of thing, you can do better. And considering where them chicks was on you at the high school reunion, you can do better. Okay? You really don't have to go and break the bank. Okay, trying to be with her. Anyway, she called him late and she was basically like, I didn't want to spend all this time arguing. Okay, okay, girl, okay. Um, honestly, his voice isn't bad for a country song, but his lyrics and playing were off. But you know, white people be kind of tone deaf. So anyway, Samantha, I'm convinced has somebody else somewhere. So he said they're gonna start a life together in Idaho. Now I've driven through Arizona, especially in not commuting. Oh gosh, but driving from Georgia to California and California to New York. I think Arizona. Not that I thought it was a great place to live, but for some reason it sounds a whole lot better than Idaho Potato State. But nevertheless, if that's what you want to do, um, so he's crying. I'm not sure what he sees in her. She can't have anything more than them other chicks that we saw at the reunion, but that's just me. I thought we established they were getting married, but we did establish it again. I just knew they had a fight, and she had said he wasn't ready, but I didn't know they were trying to, whatever. And I was just like, can we please end this storyline? But honestly, so he's going to Idaho to marry her. And I was just like, okay, Rick, just get off our screen. Where did Rick find his black friend? And I don't mean where, since they didn't answer it. So he met Ricardo, the black friend. He said when they went to church or something. And because he drove him around. I was like, huh? And Ricardo got these pawn shop and kind of, first of all, Ricardo driving him around. And Ricardo, let me tell you something. Your skin looks good, brother. But it was given, my black servant is like the family. That's what it was giving. Not because, even necessarily because of Ricardo's behavior, but that's just what it was giving. The kind of vague, how do I know him? It also gives maybe they was involved in something together, but whatever. So he went on, so he went to get her a ring from the pawn shop. Because she can't have a certain kind of ring at the center. So I was like, because the safety issues. This is such a fucking shit show. I was like, Rick, then wait. Why would you spend that money? Damn, you know the way she acts, she gonna want a different ring when she get out of here. And when she sees this, I'm not sure how she's gonna feel, bruh. I'm just saying, you shouldn't have done this with no camera around like that. He spent more on vitamins and shit in the GNC store, whatever store that was. He spent like $500, $496. When his friend was like, man, you're amazing. I said, that's code for you stupid. But okay. So anyway, moving on. Then we get Joey and Michael. This was hard. So Joey's mom had a brain aneurysm and then had a stroke. And he was like, we were basically called in to say goodbye. It seems like his mom is still alive. But the way he was talking when he said, the nurse was calling all of us in to basically like come in. And I don't know, it wasn't clear. I mean, I guess she's, in a tough condition, but prayers up because I don't wish that on anybody. So Michael is worried from jail, of course. about the isolation that Joey is putting himself in because he's in a tough spot. So he goes to visit, Joey goes to visit his friend, who I guess it seems like almost like, you know how you have like a mentor in Alcoholics Anonymous and stuff like that, like somebody who's been through those things, and then that person kind of looks out for you because they've been through it or whatever. That's what it seemed like. And he goes to talk to his friend who checks on him if he goes, you know, like no contact, essentially because I guess they're worried that he may be using it again. But now he's concerned about moving out the house. He said he had been looking for apartments for them. And I was like, and he was like, maybe I should stay with my parents so I can take care of them. Yes, you should, Joey, because now they need you the way you needed them, especially your mother. And especially because Michael is on some fuck shit. Michael has plenty of boyfriends in that prison. He has plenty of other fuck buddies over the phone. Like, Mike, just stop. Joey, just count your blessings, cut your losses, okay? Please. Because we really don't want to see. And Joey is kind of a depressing character. He always seems sad to me. But I can, with his parents and with his mother and stuff, that's a lot. So he realizes, he was like, well, Michael, you know, called and he supported me as much as he could at the other end of the phone. He can't really support you. And he doesn't support you that much. And y'all didn't know each other that long, especially in a time of crisis. Quite frankly, somebody from jail just really can't do what you need. And sometimes you need somebody there to hug you, to hold you, tell you it's going to be all right, to help you do things that you can't do when you're in that state. The friend is worried, the lady, she was worried about him relapsing. And she was not simply because of the mother issue, but if Michael gets out, she doesn't trust Michael. She thinks Michael is still going to be surrounded by it, and he is. He is. And the bottom line is, Joey, Michael's not the one for you. Go find somebody more your speed, like, or just drop this relationship and just handle you and your family, because your family is worth it. Michael is not. Okay. All right. So okay, True and Shantae. It's actually kind of painful for me to even do this because I really don't want to read you hard. I don't. And I also think the issue I see with you and for you is, Shantae, you're smart and you're perceptive and you're clear in the way you articulate things. But there's something about being with this man that does something for you or something for whatever you're trying to satisfy inside of you. Because you know this is bullshit. You can tell he's on fuck shit. Not because you're blind to it, but you insist on going through with it. And that's what's concerning to me. So she's supposed to be going, I thought she was going to visit True, but I guess she is, but she's meeting up with the family first. Her niece is going with her, which I think is good. You do not need to go in those kind of situations by yourself to meet his mother and sister. All right. She asked her kids if they're not interested in going. Her son was like, I'd rather go to school. I'm not saying that boy don't like school. What I am saying is that line alone, he wasn't even actively being disrespectful to his mother, but that was more of a read than anything else. Because you know good and goddamn well, if a teenage boy says, no, I'd rather go to school, the read was, I look for any other opportunity to go to doctor's visits, funerals, anything to get out of school. I'd rather go to school than go with you to this bullshit. Okay? Anyway, so everybody in this family, I got to give it to you. Shantae, everybody in your family ages very, very well. I couldn't tell nobody's age. I can't hardly tell her niece's age. Shantae is one of the people you just got to trust her because she's 35. She still looks young to me. So y'all got some good genes. So apparently his sister gets mad at Shantae when she doesn't send True money the way she said she was. And I was thinking to myself, I can tell there's some fuck shit somewhere. First of all, bitch, don't you worry about what I'm sending your brother. It ain't got shit to do with you. And you need to take your grown ass and go to work the same way I do. The same way I'm paying 2 mortgages. The same way I'm taking care of 2 kids. and I have two grandkids too, and you got the nerve to fucking call me, act like I owe you something. Let me tell you something. It's the same thing we saw with Rob's mama when she was talking to Teeny. These kind of people who do not do their part with their family, and then when they see somebody who is nice, who is friendly, who tries to do the right thing, you don't like them, but you are so willing to take advantage of them. And that's some fuck shit. And any man, well, she basically tells us the fact that True and his mom essentially have a bad relationship. And his mom testified against him as a character witness. She said if he gets out, he's going to do the same thing. But I can tell with his mother, she had fucked up along the way too. She had fucked up somewhere too with raising him. And that kind of, I just want to get him out of my hair. I don't give a fuck. Meanwhile, she probably wasn't doing her job as a mother. And I imagine it's tough for a mother to do that. But I also think you just wanted your son, who kept getting in trouble, to get out of your head so much that you testified against him. You could have gone to court and supported him and told him, no, you didn't want to be a character witness. You chose to do that. No wonder he's angry with you. Any man who is angry with his mother, I'm not talking about they had a disagreement and he's upset about it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about growing up with a mother that you resent, that you do not have a good relationship with, who practically betrayed you in the court, because it's not like you murdered anybody. He just started talking to his mom again a couple of months ago. Shantae, run. Run. A man who does not have a good relationship with his mother, a man who does not have a loving relationship with his mother, even men who, without doing the work, grew up in a house where they saw their father or other men hit their mother, Chris Brown. They grow up and imitate that behavior. Period. Run. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be abusive. The same way I'm telling Teeny, run. While he is not out of jail. And y'all ain't even got no paperwork. Girl, please. Anyway, so Shantae arrives to meet True's mom. Honestly, as far as I was concerned, these people were nobody to impress. Nobody. Just even by the way she was describing them, I was like, fuck these people. So anyway, she has done well for herself. Shantae honestly has, as a single mother. Because I keep thinking, I was like, dang, she's only 35. And she's paying 2 mortgages, 2 kids, and thinking about starting her own restaurant, putting money away and shit. Like, Shantae, honestly, you got it going on in a way you have no idea you do. You done already had your kids. I mean, you can even have more if you want. But you ain't got to do this. And that's why I'm saying something about her self-esteem, it's low. So that jacket that she had on was nice, though. So she sat down. Was I the only one who noticed? She goes to sit down beside his mother. His mother's just sitting there and doesn't say anything until Shantae gets good in the seat and goes, hi. And she was like, oh, hey, this is true. Bitch, you saw her. The fuck is wrong with you? See, that's that rude ghetto mentality shit. You don't know how to act. Anyway, so his mother asked her if she's happy about his release. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm sorry. Shantae asked his mother if she was happy about his release. And you know this bitch said, she said, well, I just know it's going to be a handful. But he's your handful. I said, nah, bitch. The fact that you willing to let your son come out and be another woman's problem after he's been gone all these years says to me, you're not even emotionally attached to your son. Which tells me you failed him as a mother. And now he's about to fail another woman. And God knows who else he's failed. And I think True is gay. I'm just being honest. Just something about him does not seem like he is completely straight. That's just me. Anyway, she hasn't been to see him in prison. Shantae hasn't. And she was like, honestly, it's deep. And I don't want to share my reasoning. First of all, jail ain't no fun place to visit. Jail, prison are not fun places to visit. Those are things you do when you have to go and see about people that you love. And that's how I know Shantae is. And maybe she just don't want to go to nobody's fucking prison. And she's right. She don't owe nobody no explanation on that. And 2, especially seeing she done already took out a second mortgage. Okay? If Shantae don't want to go visit him, but she gonna have a place for him to live, that's some fuck shit. Okay, don't you worry about why she ain't been there. Okay, anyway, everybody don't want to go to prison like that. Have you been to see your son? Especially since y'all just started talking a couple of months ago. Get the fuck out of here. Um, the mom was like, well, I don't buy her reasoning for not going to visit him. I said, well, bitch, she didn't give you no reason. Suck it up. So I realized that he's in jail and she's never seen him. Yes, that's a huge problem. Okay, but we were saying all this shit before. Okay, we didn't need the mama and the sister to confirm that. So, but they're fucked up people, I can tell. And now all of a sudden y'all want to be in his business after not talking to him for years and him not talking to y'all. Like, no. So then Shantae, no, the sister walks up to the table and was like, Angela. Not, I am Angela. It's nice to meet you. Just Angela. I said, bitch, please. I would have kicked that chair out from under her while she was bending down. Fuck out of here. So she was like, how is he your boo and you've never seen him? That sounds like a question you should be asking your fucking brother. You're obviously meeting her here at this table. You're obviously somebody who was willing to participate by being on camera and showing your face. Bitch, ask him. You didn't ask these questions before you agreed to a release by WeTV? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Then they bring up, well, you know he has never dated black girls. So they show these pictures of him with like 2 or 3 white girls. Okay. He's told us he hasn't dated black girls, which is also a sign of a down low man, a down low black man. I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of them, what they do is they date outside their race because there are certain things that people intraracially and intraculturally will notice in a way people outside of that race or culture won't. And don't be fooled just because men talk to a lot of women. A lot of men do that to cover up what they really are. My thing is, do you also date white women because you hate black women? You hate your mother? Because when you was talking about black women in the ghetto, they ratchet, this, that, and the other. I'm like, motherfucker, you got your whole big grown black ass in jail. You got the nerve to be calling somebody ghetto or ratchet? Child, woo! So Shantae said he was going to parole to her house, and the mother kind of looked distressed for a second, and the mother didn't know. I was like, you didn't know? But you just told her that he was going to be her handful. But you didn't know. Okay. So they call him on the phone, on the speakerphone. I'm like, I'm glad when nobody else in that restaurant, because I'd be pissed the fuck off. I'd be pissed off when people will be on their speaker in public, and it ain't no emergency, which is most of the time. Or on the subway with this. Don't get me started. So he's telling them basically 2 separate things. He was like, no, he told Shantae he's going to parole to her house. Then he was like, well, look, and he told his family, he was like, I don't plan on doing that. If she wants to do that, then do that. You do what you need to do. And I'm just like, yeah, he's a fucking liar. And then the mom has the nerve to look at her with that smirk on her face. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like this bitch. Saying, you know, you don't think he's using you? But y'all ain't shit. And it sounded like y'all were saying that to hurt her and embarrass her. And that's mean. It's mean. That's why I'm glad Denise was there posted up, because I was here for that. But it just seemed mean. That, like, even under different circumstances, I'd be like, Shantae, why are you being so dumb? But when y'all start trying to do that vicious, mean shit, I'm not here for that. So, speaking of dumb, speaking of stupid, speaking of ghetto mentality, Ayanna and Jamal. Ayanna primarily. I missed something. I thought Ayanna had actually gone, when I didn't see her son and I saw her with the baby and she was feeding the baby or whatever, I thought she had went to visit her son and then had just gone back to her house. I didn't realize she was still at her mother's house. I said, see, this is a horse of a different color, because now this shit, I didn't know. And she's showing her ass like that, which don't surprise us. But anyway, now she has to tell her mama what happened. Did they cut that part out? Because I'm curious. Ain't no way in hell all that screaming, all that dumb shit she was doing. Anyway, so why is she cursing and telling her son to hurry up? Her son lived at that house. Her son didn't ask to go to nobody's prison visit, and turns out he don't even go. She said she's an hour late for her prison visit. Bitch, you don't need to go. Your priority should be your children, especially since we find out you need to turn yourself in tomorrow and go to jail. So her ghetto ass drops her 2 kids off with her brother while she rushes to see some sorry motherfucker in jail. Her best friend's ex-man at that. Huh? So her friend was like, basically like the reality has not hit her. I was like, yeah, clearly, because her priorities are clearly out of whack. And I was just like, this is so, and I don't like to throw these words around too much, but this is a real fucked up gutter mentality she has. She has a pending jail time sentence waiting on her the next day. She's going to see a prisoner, like I said, who was her best friend's man, before she goes to jail the next day. Seeing and spending time with your kids wasn't a priority. But you getting in the car, screaming down the highway, rushing your friend, who's the only one who can legally drive anyway. Your priority should have been to stay your ass there. Make sure as best you could that your kids were set the fuck up and that this was as smooth as possible, because it's not going to be smooth anyway, because your mama got to now work hard even more, take care of your son, which she's doing anyway, and your 2-year-old who's going to need a different kind of attention. And you can't just find no babysitter for no little kid nowadays like that without screening people and making sure. And you up here making fucked up decisions. Then you going to have your kids around this prisoner when he get out, ex-con, whatever it is. Oh my gosh, that was pissing me off so bad. So she gets in the car. We didn't know, I didn't know at least, when she gets back in the car that she had got out the car to go to the correctional facility. And then gets in the car crying because they didn't have that much time, and they playing in her face. It's everybody else's fault but Ayana's. Ayana, you keep making fucked up decisions. You did not have to push your ass down the highway. We didn't get no time. Bitch, you not even his wife. He ain't worked up because he got other chicks coming in and out that jail. I ain't stupid. So she's mad at the facility that they didn't give them a lot of time. She's saying, if it wasn't for that stupid Zoom court, I was like, oh my gosh. Now you blaming court? For the reason why y'all didn't get a lot of time together? Bitch, no. What fucked up your time was getting caught driving high twice. This is your second DUI. And you were mad when they gave you that. Like, what the fuck you gonna get? I'm gonna get in trouble for driving high? Yes! Is she just retarded? Is she slow? Because if she is, then maybe I can really try to make child. Then she talking about how she gonna miss her man because she will be in jail for 2 weeks. She don't know what she gonna do without talking to him. And I was like, you're more worried about not talking to him than the actuality of you being in jail for the first time and being in there, period. You a dumbass. You a dumbass. So she's upset because she didn't take time to process how she basically fucked up court by running her fucking mouth, deciding to feed her 2-year-old during court instead of getting off the phone with Jamal, making sure your baby is fed and watching a movie and quiet while you do court. You run up there to see some sorry motherfucker who can't do nothing for you. You doing everything for him. So last and probably least, Candace and Andrew. Candace was in the car. She was talking a lot for me. But anyway, so she's going to the place where the parolees are supposed to go and visit as soon as they get out of jail. That's a lot of stuff they ask people to do when they get out of jail. Like that day. Shouldn't you get like a week to get that together? I'm sorry. That seems like a lot of coordinating if you don't have any money. But then again, that's the system we live in. So apparently there are recently released people from jail and mentally ill people in the same facility, on separate sides, but still. And I was just like, they don't give a fuck about nobody. The state don't fund nothing. And I was like, of course they don't. So she's flipping out because the parole officer said all she has to do is text him or whatever. She can go back to the apartment. and she doesn't stay there. I was like, why is she mad? And then I realized she explained like she was getting two different messages, one from the facility she's supposed to stay in, and a different one from the parole and probation people, and they're the ones that can send her back to jail. Yeah, I'd be frustrated too. Because you just need some clear answers so you figure out what to do so you can get the fuck out of this situation. But anyway, she got in a new apartment and forgot all that stuff. I'm gonna maybe I should just go and play somebody. So I can get a new apartment and get it furnished for free. Like, anyway, they ordered fast food. She needed some She kept saying fried chicken, but that looked like chicken tenders to me. But whatever. That's what you want. Because after being in prison, a little stuff, that means something. So they seem to be getting along better than I actually thought. Okay. He's reminded me of that heavyset guy who I think his name was Andrew too last season. The one with the crazy gaslight in prison girlfriend who made him sit out in the car with his son while she went into her son's birthday party. Andrew's kind of like that kind of like do anything for her kind of person. Anyway, but this isn't nearly as extreme. So she's talking about how Andrew is affectionate, but she's not like that. She's told us that 57 times. I don't want to hear it no more. So she was explaining that it's hard for her to have sex, and she's been physically abused. She's been in bad situations. I understand that, and I can appreciate him understanding that, honestly. However, when she was in the confessional, what made me think twice was when they asked her if she was attracted to him, and it took her about 5-6 seconds to say yeah, and it was a slow yeah. I was like, girl, I think if anything, Candace wants to actually like a guy like Andrew because she thinks that kind of person will be better for her. And honestly, under certain circumstances, he probably would be. But the bottom line is she's not attracted to what she thinks she needs. She's probably attracted to things that she's not supposed to have. And that has happened to us all. Girl, I've been there, but at the same time, you ain't gonna be able to do this much longer. Because let me tell you something. If she was really attracted to him, she would have had sex with him that night. Not even that. I understand her about the abuse and everything. I'm just, if she would have been more attracted to him, I don't think that would have been a problem. But that's just me. So she's talking about her son, who her ex-husband has custody of, but she never gave up the rights to. But essentially, she was on drugs or whatever. So we know that honestly, he has a good case to keep him. And she was like, my son is my priority. And I actually think that's a good thing. That is her first order of business at a prison. Ayanna, meanwhile, can have her kids. And she running up to the jail and has an attitude with her friend who don't want to get a fucking ticket on the highway to go and see this sorry motherfucker who started fucking with her when he was with her best friend. He don't care about neither one of y'all. That's some foolishness. So Candace was honest and she was like, look, I'm hurting. And I just have to take care of my son. I honestly don't dislike her. I actually expected to dislike her as soon as she got out, but I don't for some reason. She said Andrew is leaving in 6 days. And she said, honestly, it's going to be easier for me because I don't have to worry about his emotions. And I get it, girl. I get it. That's why I just know this ain't going to last. But anyway, that was Love During Lockup. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all enjoy y'all's Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. I'll talk to y'all soon.